Day. Good morning, everyone. Jerisha Hawk here. I am your host. Welcome to the Hawk Hustle Morning Show. I'm a high ticket sales coach, digital business consultant, and I help experts like you better communicate the skill set that you already have and package it into a service that you can sell consistently. So I hope you guys are kicking off the week to an amazing start. As you guys are popping on, feel free to say, hey, let me know you're here. I'm going to go ahead and add this in the comments. So this weekend has been pretty, I'm trying to be very particular with my language and not say like, oh, I've been busy or oh, whatever. It's been a dynamic week and it will continue to be dynamic. So hey guys, hi Monica, hi Sydney. I see Jenny's on. Tiffany's on. Hey, Tiffany. I see a couple of you guys are on. Hey, hi, Ashley. I'm not seeing who's on over here on Facebook, but hey, Mia. So I see you guys are on. But I'm really excited. This has been like, this month is just going to be a dynamic month. July is so interesting. July is always an event-filled month for me, typically. And I think it's because it's kind of my new year. It's my January. 2 years ago, I put in my resignation at my job and I went full-time in my business. I did a post the other day on Instagram sharing some lessons I've learned over the past year. So that's been in itself pretty exciting. I was talking to one of my past clients via DM the other day, and I had mentioned that I'm moving. And it's really interesting, her response. She was like, wait a minute, that was the dream? Like it was on your vision board? Like it was your dream to move into the floor to ceiling window apartment downtown in a downtown area. And I think it's so important for us to remember. And it's just, I think, interesting in itself again, because I was listening to Michael Todd yesterday too, late last night. And Michael Todd was saying, when you are in pursuit of your purpose, your relationships will be repositioned and things in your life will be repositioned. And I think that's definitely like the season that I'm in and something that I'm feeling that repositioning right now in my life, and in a very like practical, tangible way. And so I think it's we set these clear goals, right? We set these ambitions. We, express to God what our heart desires are, and we align our desires with what his desires are for us. And when there is that alignment, I really do think magic happens. Like, I don't want to call it magic, but I just think there's that synergy and that alignment really allows you to build up momentum and for you to just kind of move forward on I don't want to say necessarily a smooth path, but a very like direct, clear path. At least it feels that way for me. And, there's so much that I've been able to, and I talk about this all the time because I really do believe having a clear, like make your vision crystal clear, make it plain is so important. But when you do that, what happens once you accomplish the goal? Like what happens when you've reached the destination and you did the thing that you've been working your butt off to do? And I've really been in a season where I've been just embracing it, enjoying it, not rushing to what the next thing is going to be, or not like in this, a lot of the time I think sometimes we can set goals, we hit the goals, like we don't even take a moment to like celebrate it. We don't acknowledge it. And I've been doing a really good job, I think, doing that, actually enjoying it, actually acknowledging it, actually living in it. But then it's time to get repositioned. And I think it's just so symbolic of just how business is so symbolic of just how when you're walking in your purpose and when you are aligning yourself with what God has for you, and you are open to receiving the direction that he's giving you, I really do believe that there is just this, that you will be going through seasons where there'll be consistent seasons of repositioning. And that's kind of what we're going through now, things have changed and like we are evolving, and like the dream lifestyle that I have now is evolving, like it's getting repositioned, and like there's new aspirations. There's I think when you're also in constant pursuit of your purpose, like things are just always like they grow. Like it's just kind of like when we've been talking a lot about planting and versus consuming, and like, you know, there's been a lot of seeds planted. You know, we're just moving along into the harvest process. So that's kind of where I'm at right now in life. Things are just getting repositioned in a positive way, and, you know, kind of gearing up my equipment for the different season of the harvest, you know, while still planting, still making time to plant, but also now starting to tend to the seeds that are growing. And it's like, what does that season look like? I think so often, so many of us are just so quick. I want to start something. I want to start something. I want to start something. And it's like, you can start something all day. But like, what are you going to finish? Like, what are you going to tend to? What are you going to sustain? It's not always about necessarily starting something new, but like, you've already planted all these seeds. Are you doing the due diligence and doing what's required to like, to tend to those seeds that you've already planted, and to take care of the soil? So the work starts to look different. I think the work starts to look different. And that's kind of where I'm at now. Like, how do I tend to the seeds that I've already planted? How do I maintain a healthy stride? How do I, you know, I don't know if this is resonating for you guys. I'm not sure what season you're in. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So that's been something that's been kind of just on my mind, on my heart, this past week. I can't believe it's already like, well, it's only July 8th or already July 8th. Like, I feel like the time is just, like, one day feels like a week for me every day. They just feel long because there's just a lot going on. But that's where I'm at kind of mentally and spiritually right now. That's kind of just where my mindset is. So that's kind of what I'm working through. Just to give you guys a quick update. Some other updates. This is going to be, again, like, this is just a dynamic month. Like, so I'll be leaving town on Wednesday. I'll be going out to Cali. And I'm in a coaching program and in a mastermind. So I'll be going out there to actually participate in the coaching program I signed up for and participate in the mastermind I signed up for. Those are my coaches. You know, I talk to you guys all the time about the importance of investing in yourself. Like, you are the most important asset in your business. And if you are not developing you, we need to work on that. Like, that needs to be a priority. So that's what I'll be spending this week doing. I'll be in Cali for probably like 10 or 11 days. And then, so just getting a lot of work done, kind of really, like, it's kind of the thing that I'm going into my mastermind and my coaching program with the focus of is, what is the next, like, how do and I know I've already talked to you guys about this too, but I just want to get some more insight on how to strategically reposition the business and reposition it for growth. So, you know, we have services that sell pretty much like down to the T for the most part. There's a couple things that we need to tweak and adjust just to make sure that things continue to move smoothly. But other than that, it's like we're going to be launching a more high touch point program with me in the very short term. So I just want to get some more clarity around, you know, the best way to execute that. And then I think also, like, I'm just looking for some downtime. Like, I'm really looking forward to just being in a season of rest, in the sense that, you know, I'll be out in Cali by myself. You know, this is the first time, typically when I go to my coaching programs or go to my mastermind groups, I always get a roommate. I'll buddy up or a roommate, you know, get a roomie and share a hotel room with one of the other ladies that is coming to the event. But this time I was super intentional. I'm like, no, I want my own space this time. There will be no roommates. I want to be able to come back to the hotel room and completely, like, kind of just be like process on my own without having filtered input from anybody else. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. And then I'll be staying out there. I have about 4 or 5 days in between both of the events where I'll be in Cali by myself. So I plan to just make some, you know, meet up with a couple of people potentially, and just have some time to just kind of be still, have some time to, you know, connect and chat with God, and just have some time to just kind of rest. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's what's coming up in the short term. That's what I got going on. Like, you know, today's more of like a status update. I think it's so important. We're always, I know I'll be bringing the heat. I know I'll be snatching edges. I know we be dropping gems over here on a regular basis. So if you need to feel like you need to get gathered, there's plenty of episodes either on the podcast or on my Facebook page to completely gather you. But I think it's also important, and this is why I continue to like kind of infuse this into our morning show routine, is just to kind of like do a pulse check, right? It's important for you to just take time to be like, to pause and be like, okay, where am I? How is my body? Like, what am I feeling? Where is my emotional, like, what is my emotional well-being? Like, where is my mindset? Kind of just, where's the focus? Like, what's coming up? How do I need to mentally prepare for it? How am I processing everything else that's going on right now? Because I think that's really, really, really important to do, you know? And so yeah, so this month will be a lot of just working on the business versus working in the business. And what I mean by working on the business, I mean like setting the strategic goals and like really looking at the future vision of where we're growing to, and just what's like, okay, making more of a detailed plan of just what's required to get us there. So that's the status update for today, guys. But if you guys want to do any Q&A, you know, I'm game. So if you have any questions or if you're struggling with anything specifically and you want some insight or some feedback, have that in the comments and we can do some Q&A today. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Desi said exciting, doing just that myself with my small team. Yes. Like having your meeting with your, even if you're a team of one, it is like still important for you to do that. And I think doing it on every about 3 months is something that I enjoy doing. But typically in July is when I start making my goals for what the next year is going to be. So I do my we're doing 2020 vision planning now. At least I am. That's like something else I'm going to be looking forward to being focused on over the next week while I'm out in Cali is like, where are we going to be December 2020? And then what's required to get us there from where we are right now, like versus looking at doing the goal planning in January. Like, nah, bruh, we want to start before the new year hits. Marissa said, how does health insurance work when you have your own business? You pay for it yourself. That's a very simple answer. Like when you are employed, your employer pays a portion of your health insurance and then you pay another portion of it. When you are self-employed, you pay for it 100% yourself. So that's really it. There's nothing, it's typically more expensive because, you know, you're not splitting the cost with anybody. I know there are like groups, you know, you can get people together and like do a group rate type of thing. But if you're an LLC, you're just going to get insurance on your own and you're going to pay for it on your own. And this is why, like, it is so important. People are like, Jay, I want to have a business. I want to go make more money. Like, you need to be profitable because there's so many things that now you are like, people like look at the laptop lifestyle and envy it or like glorify it. But it's like the laptop lifestyle is not a penny pinching lifestyle. Like, if you want to live a good quality of life where like your basic, like your necessities are taken care of and you're in a healthy position, like holistically, you got to make money. And this is why I'm so big. And I go in on y'all. I see Marissa, you done fired me up today. Y'all need to make some money, be profitable from the beginning. Like be focused on bringing in those coins. Like we don't, like, you can't keep doing free for forever. You can't keep treating your side hustle like a hobby for forever. Like you got to make money. I'd say, like, I don't know what the average cost of health insurance is. I'd probably say easily $400 to $600 for a single person. Like I would say it's easily around that per month. So it's like people be tripping about paying for like a Zoom membership that's $14.99 a month. They're like, Jay, I don't want to pay for acuity scheduling. It's $10 a month. Like, bruh, if you struggling to pay the $10 a month or like you don't want to let that money go, how the heck are you going to handle insurance? Or how the heck are you going to handle managing your money so you can pay your taxes every year? Like, so that, and how insurance works is you pay for it yourself if you're an LLC. And guys, I am not a lawyer. I am not a healthcare professional. So like, go talk to somebody who actually knows what they're talking about, like who specializes in this, like to help you with that. But the other thing is when you do get to a point where There's definitely some tax advantages, or you still, and you, no matter what, you're still paying for it 100%. Like you're still paying for it, whether it's coming out of the business, where if you're like an S corp and you set up your business as an S corp, then you can make yourself an employee of the business, but the business is still paying a portion of the health insurance, and you'll be paying a portion, but it's still coming out of your pocket. So that's how that works. You need to make more money so you can pay for it, and be comfortable and not be stressed about it. Okay, so I think that's a fair question. Nobody likes to talk about that stuff. Like a lot of business coaches don't like to talk about like what's the business of your life now that you're a full-time entrepreneur. Like even like there's so much that goes into it, and it is so important for you to be profitable, or else it'll just take you a lot longer to get the things that you want. Like I even think about now, like we're, talking to mortgage bankers and like looking into the option of purchasing a home. And as an entrepreneur, you have to have 2 years of income statements, i.e. you need to pay your taxes. Because I definitely know there's somebody on here right now who's like, oh, I'm just collecting income on Venmo right now. You can't report Venmo to the IRS. Like you have to make sure that your things are in order, that you are keeping track of your money, that you are producing your own profit and loss statement, even if the profit and loss statement ain't that big. That you know what your numbers are, that you know how much money is going in, how much money is going out, that you're actually putting money away to pay for your taxes. Like you need to have all those things in order, because if you're so quick to rush to go full time, like this is what your new life is going to be. There's a whole nother level of responsibility. If you want to ever buy a home, if you want to move into a new apartment, if you want to purchase a car, or you just make enough money where you pay for it cash, where like all the traditional route stuff doesn't matter. That's the boat I like to be in personally. Like, oh, I want to go buy a new car. Oh, like, man, we need 2 years of your statements. I'm like, no, you don't. Just here's the cash. Give me the keys. Have a blessed day. And that's an option too, but like there's so much that goes into it. So just make sure, like, be focused. What season of business am I in? What business model best aligns with the season that I'm in for me to be the most profitable at this season? I'm going to remind you guys of that all the time. Any chance I get, I'm going to slide that in there, because we're going to make sure that we are good to go. Okay? What's something I would need to know before leaving a full-time job to go full-time in my business? Well, those are some things I would tell you. Another thing is, like, so many people, again, are so quick. I want to launch my business. I want to start my business. You need to know what your revenue stream is going to be. And I said stream one, not streams. Everybody's like, well, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. They all made their first million off of one. Right? Like they may have had multiple streams within a stream, but they made their first $1 million off of one revenue source, right? There may have been multiple streams in that one source, but they made their first $1 off of one source. So don't, y'all already know, reel it back in, keep it tight. I'm gonna need you to be focused. Focus on, like, how am I going to make money? Do not focus on what is my revenue stream going to be and how am I going to make money off of that thing? What problem am I solving? Who am I solving that problem for? How am I going to profit off of it? It's the POP method all day, every day. Pick one problem, pick one person, and focus on one profit conversion tool, i.e. sales calls. Like, how am I actually going to sell? And then it's like, make sure that you have a plan in place and you have the resources in order for you to execute on that effectively, so you can actually make money. Like, everybody's like, oh, I'm ready to quit. It's like, cool. How them bills gonna get paid next month? Do you know how you're going to make money? And I don't just mean conceptually, like, do you have the skills to actually sell the thing that you're trying to sell? And this is why services that sell, like, this is why I'm so gung-ho for the thing that I do, and what our program is because you need to know how to sell. If you, like, I don't care, before you quit, you need to invest in somebody. Even if it's not me, you need to invest in somebody that's going to teach you how to sell, like the art of selling, like not creating content, not making cute YouTube videos, not how to DIY your WordPress website. You need to invest in somebody who's going to teach you how to sell. Because if you know how to sell, you'll at least know how to make money. And if you know how to make money, and if you make enough money, having the money will solve any other problems that come up, or at least put you in a better position to solve other problems that come up. So that is some things I would highly recommend if you're like preparing to go full time. Is you need to learn how to sell. And I don't just mean like consuming, like you do need to learn the knowledge, consume the knowledge, but you need to also know, how do I implement this? So I think this is another important thing. People are like, okay, I know how to sell, Jay, I'm building a sales funnel. And it's like, okay, you know how to build the sales funnel, but do you know how to implement that sales funnel to get the result that you want consistently? And this is where I think the disconnect is. It's like, I know conceptually what I need to do, but when I apply it, I'm not getting the results that I want. So there's a disconnect with the execution. So it's important to learn a simple way for you to sell that is like low tech, not a huge barrier of entry. This is why I'm a huge fan of live stream video and sales calls, because you don't need a lot. You really don't need anything to do those things successfully. Like you need very minimal systems, but it's really just you developing the skill to be. So you need to know how to sell, and you need to know how to actually like physically do it, like implement it, execute it, get consistent results from it. What tools do I use to keep me organized? I am writing an article for you guys on all the systems, tools, software that I use in my business. So I'm actually going to hold off on answering that question because I'll be publishing that soon. And it'll just be all the software I use, what I use it for, and how I use it. So I will be posting that inside the Facebook group when I publish it. So if you're not already in my Facebook group, like definitely go join, jerishahawk.com/join. And I'm also going to be sharing with you all of my favorite books that I've read. This is going to be a really hard one to compile because I read so many different books. But I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of like the top books that I have really impacted me as I've been growing in my business. So I'll be sharing both of those articles inside of my Facebook group. So just make sure that you're in my Facebook group if you're not already. So good stuff there. Ashley said, any advice on positioning your signature service to companies versus individuals? Ashley, you can definitely ask this inside of the services that sell group so we can get a bit more specific. But it's all like everything I'm going to tell you again, it goes back to knowing your pop person. Like regardless if your pop person is an individual or if your pop person is a company, there's still a person in that company that you're selling to. So it's really important for you to like tailor your positioning and tailor your messaging to who that decision maker is within the organization who will be ultimately hiring you. So you want to just keep your pop person in mind. As I'm going to tell you all the time, like don't lose sight of who your pop person is and make sure that everything that you're doing, like people are like, well, I want a company to hire me. There's still a person in that company who's making the buying decision. So go back to module 1, really focus in who my pop person is, and think about who is that decision maker or who would be that decision maker inside of the company, and then structure all your growth assignments around that pop person, okay? And then Monique said, is there someone, meaning like you can hire to help strategically plan for your business? I know the end goal, but I don't know how to break down the steps to get there. And if so, what is that person called? Yeah, I would say, I used to do this one-on-one for a lot of people because I love developing strategy. And I guess there's some of you guys in services that, so I don't do one-on-ones really at all anymore, but I can definitely open up some one-on-one calls for you guys in services that sell if you guys want that. But I think it's important that, how do I say that? I would say it's a business strategist for the most part is who you would end up hiring. But I'm like, the reason why I'm hesitating is there is a lot of people out there who call themselves business strategists and they don't do that shit. Like they'll just talk to you about your goals, but they're not giving you a plan on how to achieve the end result. So I'm really hesitant. Just do your due diligence before you hire anyone. Do your due diligence because everyone's like, oh, I'm a strategist. It's like, are you? But yeah, it would probably be a business strategist for the most part. But I'm like, one thing I do want us to do, you know what, like, let me know, is anybody else right now watching services that sell that's watching right now? Like, would it be of benefit for us to just do like a strategy call together as a group and like plan out what the next year looks like? because I'd actually recommend you check out the Breakthrough 2019 workshop, because that will really help you break down like your metrics, your numbers, your profit margins. The Breakthrough 2019 workshop really will help you get your stuff together in regards to what the strategy is. But if you guys want to do like a initial call before you guys dive into Breakthrough 2019, I'm totally, and we can do that next week when I'm in Cali. We can pick a day and do like a Zoom call with everybody and work through the strategy for the year. If you're in, this is only for services that sell, people though. So if you're not in services that sell, join by next week. And because I never do this, but we could totally, if you guys are open to that, we could totally do that and just do it, bonus it for you guys. So if you're in services that sell, do you want this? Hey, Chelsea, Chelsea, we need to add something to the calendar. Yeah, grads can attend. If you've ever purchased services that sell, if you're in it now, if you're an alumni of it, we'll invite everybody. But it'll only be available to our STS peeps. So yeah, we will, we can do that, Monique, we can definitely do that. So I will work on that today. But I will let you guys know in the group, probably today. And then, yeah, Chelsea, can you just make a note? We're going to do like a mid-year strategy alignment call. I guess you can call it that, for all the services that sell, students or grads. And we'll just put, maybe next Thursday. No. I don't know, Chelsea, you know my calendar better than I do. Maybe Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. I don't know. We'll figure it out, guys, and we'll let you know. Monique, I love you. I love y'all. Y'all tell me what you need, baby. If we can deliver, we will. That's why people be like, but Jay, I don't want another DIY course. You're not going to get no cute little DIY course when you enroll in services that sell. I want y'all to win. And if y'all need something to help y'all win, we're going to help you do that. But if you are not in services that sell, I would highly, highly, highly recommend. I have something called the Breakthrough 2019 workshop. And this is what I do. I do it once a year for my general audience. And it is so valuable to help you define what your strategy is going to be, but also help you make sure that you know your numbers and that you align your metrics and your profit margins with where you want your business to go and grow. So I would you need to go grab that. I think that is probably one of the most valuable strategic things that I put out on a yearly basis. So I'd actually highly, highly, highly recommend that you grab that if you have not already. And if you need the link to that, just send me a DM and I will send it to you, because it's not we don't really promote it all that much. But if you definitely want to grab that, just send me the link. Just send me a DM and I will send you the link so you can grab the Breakthrough 2019 workshop, because it'll help you align your vision, align your goals, and make sure that you know your numbers and that you know how you're going to get there. So even if you guys are in services that sell, I'd still tell you to go buy that thing. Mainly because that'll go much more in depth than probably what we'll be able to do on our call, depending on how many people show up. But we'll at least be able to talk through the beginning things to get you going, and then go get Breakthrough 2019. That was a great question. Y'all in services that sell, say thank you to Monique, because that was a good question. Oh, Marissa, girl, it's okay to fire me up. I like being hot. She's like, I'm sorry I fired you up, girl. That is all right. That is all right. Let me see if there's any other questions. And I do not know how to pronounce your name. I think it's Nyla or Najla. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. She said, I'm in the beginning of my business, trying to get my first clients. I want to start going live, but find myself having so much resistance around it. So anybody else feel resistance around going live and being visible and going live? I think, and it's really important for you to get down to the root cause of what's causing the resistance and where the resistance is being triggered. So the first thing I would say is this is just from a lot of our students. And if you're still on right now, let me know, what is that for you? What are you nervous about? Where is the resistance? What are you feeling? And what's causing it? And I think the biggest reason, at least I've noticed, because that's probably one of the number one fears that, well, one, public speaking is like the number one fear of like humans as a whole. I think humans fear death. I mean, fear public speaking more than they fear death. I think I read that in some article or something. But I think the main reason why when people come in services that sell, that's one of the biggest hurdles they have is they don't want to go live. And it's so important that to understand, well, where is that resistance and fear coming from? Because no matter what, if you're building a business, you have to be seen, you have to be visible, you have to be having conversations. And if you can't do that, you're going to have a very difficult time growing your business. Because if you're not selling yourself and selling your service, like, how are you going to make money? But I do think it's important to understand what the root cause is. And the biggest thing that I've noticed where people have resistance on going live is because they don't know what they're supposed to do when they click the button. If they click the button and it's like, what am I supposed to talk about? What am I supposed to say? When am I supposed to say what? How do I know this is valuable with actually, like, this content that I just put out in this live stream video is actually going to produce more than just engagement? Like, how do I make sure that my live stream video, when I publish it, that it's actually going to lead people to doing the thing I want them to do, which is buying my services and working with me? Usually there's a lack of a process. And the reason why there's resistance is because, again, you're not prepared to be successful. You haven't set yourself up to be successful. So a lot of the time, if you're just out here winging it and like hoping that you win, there can be a lack of confidence because you have no idea. So I really actually recommend, like, the reason why you may be resistant to going live is because you don't have a process to follow or a framework to implement to set you to build up your confidence, to set yourself up for success. And this is when you enroll in services that sell in module 3 of the program, this is where you start to do your lean launch. And the lean launch is a series of live stream videos structured in a very strategic way. So to make sure that your content is actually guiding people to take action and make a decision on whether or not they're going to hire you, versus you just making content for the sake of making content. And there's templates. There are, like, literally everything you need. You know what type of video you need to make, with what topic you need to focus on. And then we give you literally the outline template for you to create your own, like, mini script or like rough outline. So when you go live, you feel confident, you know the structure, you know what you need to say and when you need to say it. And then we also give you the lean launch debrief, which is basically after you've done your launch, how do you evaluate how effective it was based off of data and metrics, not just based off of how you feel that it went. So I've noticed that when people are equipped with the necessary tools to be successful, their confidence increases and they're able to kind of go live more confidently. So that's one of the big reasons why I've noticed people are resistant, is because they're not prepared to be successful, because they don't have a process to follow. The second part of why I think people struggle with going live, and I'm not sure again that this is for you, but this is what I would recommend, is because they don't really know what they're selling. Like, they lack confidence around the service that they want to sell. And when you get crystal clear, I was all weekend, there's been so many of you guys in services that sell. We've been going back and forth about nailing down your niche and figuring out what your signature service actually is. And when you're confident about the thing that you're actually selling, you're way more confident communicating and talking about it and sharing it with other people. So I shared this example over the weekend. There's an IGTV about it, a couple minutes long. But one of our students, she came in saying her signature service was to help women build their confidence to launch their business. And that is super vague. Like, that is not a specific niche. But then we actually started going through the growth assignments in module 1 and getting feedback. We were able to niche her down to say that she helps DIY stationery creators make their first $1,000 on Shopify. And she was like, I feel so much more confident talking about my business now, because I know exactly what I'm trying to help people do. Like, she's not confused. So I think a huge reason why, if you're having resistance to selling or putting yourself out there, it typically falls into one of those two buckets or both of those buckets. Either where you're not crystal clear about the service that you provide, or you're not crystal clear about how do I communicate the value of what I do in a way that other people will understand. And when you have a process for both of those things, your confidence skyrockets and you have the ability to go out there and put yourself out there in a much more positive way. So I hope that helped. I imagine that your disconnect is either in one of those two areas, if not both of those areas. And that's really where I would recommend that you focus your attention on. How do I fill those gaps so I can enhance my confidence to get the things that I want, to put myself out there and feel confident putting myself out there. Does that make sense? Yeah, the sassy CEO, I'm so much more confident now that I have a clear niche. And that's how it is. That's normally what happens. Like when you are crystal clear about this is the result that I help people get, and you have confidence behind it. Like, I know I'm capable of this. I've started to map out what my process is going to be to help that client get results. Like, things change. So I like that's really where I would recommend for you, for sure. That was a great question. Monica was like, I have questions, but I know they'll be answered in services that sell. So yeah, I just need to join. Yeah, y'all just need to join. Like, if and again, we do have a refund policy. Like, there's very minimal risk to joining services that sell. I'm really big that, when you join, there's a two-way commitment. When you join services that sell, me, myself, my team, we are committed to making sure that we are providing you with the information and with the environment for you to be successful. So there's a commitment on our part. We, promise to deliver our content. We promise to do our coaching calls. We promise to provide feedback in the Facebook group. Like, we promise to give you that. And then your promise to us is that you will actually do the work, that you will trust the process, that you will implement what we're telling you to implement, that you will do every growth assignment that we give you. And then if you 60 days in, you've done the work, we've done the work, we've delivered to you what we promised that we were going to deliver to you, and you do the work and you deliver to us all the growth assignments that you've done, and you're like, Jay, this doesn't work, we will pay you back. We will give you a refund without any questions if you do the work. It is a two-way street. So my refund policy has, we've really enhanced our refund policy to be more transparent, quite honestly, than I think even kind of what we were before. Before, it's just, if you joined in 7 days, if you didn't ask for a refund within 7 days, you couldn't get a refund. Now I think our refund policy, and I also believe this is why our students are getting better results faster too, is because it's just more transparent. This is what's required for you to be successful. This is what you can expect to receive from us. When you enroll in the program, we're committed to helping you get these results, but you also have to be committed to getting these results. So you can't ask for a refund unless you actually do the work. And I think that that's like probably the most fair situation there is out here, especially in these internet streets. Because I've definitely am aware of coaches out there who will make you sign a contract and then they don't deliver on anything, but you still have to pay. And I just think that this is kind of this allows us both to act with an integrity and allows us to both be responsible for our actions. So you have 60 days to do the work, complete all the growth assignments. And I don't mean half-ass them. I mean, like, do the growth assignments, do the work, trust the process. And within 60 days, if it's not a good fit, then ask for a refund. But you have to show that you did the work, just like I had to show that I did my work. So I think it's, for me, that it aligns with our core values, and I really do believe it allows both of us to be transparent and set ourselves up for success. So, but it's very low risk. Like, unless you're the type of person who makes commitments and you never follow through. And even if you are that person, like, if you're ready to turn over a new leaf and like get your stuff together and being in an environment that really will, like, it's very difficult to fall behind in our program. Mainly because we have software that lets me know how often every single person logs in. It lets me know what modules everybody has completed. It lets me know your percentage completion. It lets me know, and the really cool thing about our software, about where we deliver our content, is you guys earn points the more that you do the work. So every time you log in, you earn points. Every time you complete an assignment, you earn points. Every time that you progress in the program, you earn points. So I can see who the leaderboard is, who is the person that's the most engaged in this content and who is not. I can see your points, and everybody else can see your points too. So it's really cool. Like, we've definitely gamified it in the sense that we can easily see who's falling behind, and we will check on you. Like, we will Like, we will check in with you to make sure, like, what's going on, where do you need support, are you stuck with something, to help you progress forward. So it's just, there's a lot of accountability on both sides. And I think that's really, really, really important. So come on and join us, Monica. That was, I think, some good feedback there too. Let me see if there's any other questions. Chelsea was like, go back to middle school math and show your work. Yes. Elizabeth said there's no such thing as hiding in services that sell. Monique was like, hashtag facts. I mean, it's true. I mean, you can try. I mean, and like, I guess you can just never respond to us, but that wouldn't be cool. Okay, Jaleesa, I'll let you type your question. Let me see if there's anything else. Lauren said, I feel confident about my expertise, yet lack confidence about being seen, criticism about appearance, and lack of control of where the video will go. Lauren, don't you want the video to go places? Like, you want your video to be seen, but I think there's a lack of confidence around, like, you maybe have the confidence around your expertise, but maybe there's something else going on that's holding, like your fear of the criticism. I don't know. I mean, you want your video to be seen. You want people to know that you can help them. Elizabeth was like, I had a lot of resistance because I felt because around what she perceived conflict to be with her 9-to-5 job and having a business on the side, but she's a lot of that was in her head, which normally is the case. Colleen asked, the services that sell for people who've already started their business or who have not started their business yet. Services that sells for anybody making less than $5,000, like I'd say less than 6 figures, but typically I'd say half of our students have not made their first 5 figures yet. So there's probably like 40% of people, 50% of people in services that sell that have not made $1. They maybe have already started their business, or maybe they've had an idea of wanting to start their business, or they've had an idea of they've been kind of working on things, but they haven't actually made money from it, or they haven't made consistent money from it. So services that sell is really, it doesn't really matter if you're like brand spanking new, or there's definitely people who are in services that sell who came into services that sell already having made like $30,000 in their business, or $50,000 in their business, but they were doing a million different things. So if you are somebody, this is the criteria I would tell you whether or not services that sell is a good fit. Do you want to sell high ticket services? Meaning that, do you want to focus on a simplified business model where you are selling high ticket to a small number of people? If yes, then our program is for you. Do you actually want to sell services? If you want to sell physical products, unless it's delivered as a service, or if you want to be like an MLM, a network marketing business, we are not for you. But if you do want to sell services, whether you're an accountant, a lawyer, an attorney, we have gift concierge, we have, business coaches, like there's real estate agents, therapists, there's a wide range of service. If you're a service provider and you want to sell high ticket, then yes, you need to be in, like, this program is for you. And if you're like, I want a simple way to sell, like I actually need to learn the art of selling high ticket services, and I want to do that in a very minimalistic way, in a way that I can actually implement and execute on a consistent basis, then yes, this program is for you. So that's really where I would recommend kind of how you determine whether or not we're a good fit. And if you have more questions about it, like, you can always shoot us an email or send me a DM, and I'll be able to answer your questions as well. Julissa said, so right now I'm rebranding my business. I know who I want to serve specifically. I also know what service I'm selling, as well as the results my clients will receive. Right now I'm putting together the framework. So it's services that sell for me. Yeah, I'd say hands down. So like all that criteria that I just mentioned. And if you're somebody that you already know what you want to do, but again, if you have not been able to sell it consistently, services that sell will give you that piece. And then services that sell, I know you said you want to develop your framework. So you'll do that in module 1. So services that sell, we will get you will learn how do you develop what your methodology is going to be, so you can get your clients consistent results. But like, if you have not been able to sell your services consistently, sell them at a 4-figure price point consistently, and sell it in a very simplistic way, in the sense that like you're not having to, build these complicated funnels, have people jump through these tripwires and hoops, like, then we're absolutely for you. Because some people, like, you may know, one thing is, like, if you already know what you want to do or what service you want to sell, services that sell will make sure that it's polished and that it is crystal clear what that is. And then we'll also teach you how to develop your framework for it. We'll make sure that your numbers are in order, that you know how to price it effectively. And then how do I position it strategically to make sure that I'm differentiating myself, and I also know how to communicate the value of what I do in a way that other people understand. Meaning, do you know how to communicate the value of what you do to, like, what the ROI is going to be for them? And then how do you actually sell it? So, like, module 4 is all about the sales call. Like, how do you prepare for your sales call? What do you say on your sales call? How do you structure your sales call in a way that guides people to making a decision? What do you do if they don't say yes on the first call? What do you do when they say, like, how do you overcome those typical sales objections? Those are all in module 4. So Jaleesa, you already know you need to be in the program now. Like, you already know that. Come and join us. Kim was like, I was just about to listen to your podcast and here you are. Yes, girl, but you can still definitely go listen to my podcast. Elizabeth, and guys, this is some feedback from students who are in Services that Sell right now. So Elizabeth said, I love how Services that Sell lays out the methodology behind delivering a service. I didn't even know that's what I was missing. Like, that is, Elizabeth, thank you for saying that. Like, it's knowing what you want to do, but then actually having the framework to actually do it consistently for your clients is a huge, like, that's very critical step in the process of being able to not only sell your services, but get consistent results for your clients. And again, like, a lot of what I teach and just what my beliefs are and my methodology, like, I don't just care about you just making the money. Like, I do care about you making money, but, like, most coaches and most programs only support you up until the point where the coin is collected. Most people are not, and this is because I've been in programs, I've hired coaches and been in courses. Most people are not teaching you, how do I sustain my service? How do I build a solid framework for my service? Because that framework is what you can scale. Like, the methodology that you develop when you're working with one-on-one clients, that is your scalable asset. Not you, the personality, the methodology, your process, your framework is the thing that you scale. And I care much more about your sustainability as a business owner and your ability to make consistent income, more so than I care about you making some quick money and then me dipping. Like, that's just impact for me matters more than income. And the same thing goes, like, I could be selling more things just to make more money. But my thing is, I want to be very strategic about even the resources that I provide, because I want to make sure that anything that I put out is, one, aligned with, like, what my calling is and what God has really commanded me to do. But also, like, I want us to have a ripple effect. Like, anything I do, I want there to be a ripple effect, that when you enroll, you personally, your life dramatically changes. That's why the coaching program that we're going to be coming out with here soon, like, we're going to teach you now you've developed this framework and Services that Sell, how do we scale it? In the sense that, how do we now go from one-on-one with your framework to how do we deliver this to one-to-many? How do we develop your signature program? How do we develop your signature course? And that is what comes next. But that all starts with Services that Sell. That all starts with you having a methodology. And I'm going to show you how to make good money every step of the way. So, like, Services that Sell is really designed to get you to building a very healthy 5-figure business. And then our next program, I still don't know the name of it, Leverage. Like, how do you leverage your signature service to turn it into a signature program? Leverage will really help you. How do I make consistent 6 figures in my business from that same framework? So, like, we're not having to reinvent the wheel. We're not, like, you're just evolving it. You're repositioning it. And I think that's really where the magic happens. So, great question, Jaleesa. Kim said, I'm not ready to coach, but I will come back to this. Is your course that if purchased, I have lifetime access? Absolutely. So when you enroll in Services that Sell, you, like, join the society, right? Like, you join the Services that Sell society. Like, you are in for life. The beautiful thing about our program is you get access to the content that you purchase, but you get access to any future content upgrades as well. So you will definitely have lifetime access to revisit it. And most of our students go through our methodology more than once. So many of our students will use, and that's the beauty again, like, this is not this is like a timeless content, is when you enroll, most people go through services that sell 2 or 3 times, or anytime they're reintroducing a new offer, they go back through services that sell to make sure that it's well packaged, well positioned. And they actually have they can do their lean launch to get their first few clients in. So absolutely. Or are there lives or hands-on stuff? So really how services that sell is structured is when you enroll, one, you have lifetime access to the content, like no matter what, but like you have access to like how do I say this? Like it's very much kind of like a classroom. When you raise your hand and you ask questions, you get support. When, we have our monthly coaching calls with inside of services that sell. So like it's not like it's not live taught in the sense that if you miss a call, like you're screwed. It doesn't work like that. It's just when you're ready to get feedback and support, we're there to support you. But I'm just curious, what makes you think you're not ready to actually do that, like ready to coach now? Is like your attention or something focused on something else, or like no matter what, you'll have the support you need when you need it, I guess is the best way for me to say that. But yeah, so great questions today, guys. I hope you are excited to conquer your week. And yeah, that's what I got for you guys today. Nicole, okay, this is another comment from a student. Nicole said, services that sell is not a one-trick pony program. As you and your business evolves, the program still applies. Thank you. That is so well put. We are not a one-trick pony show, guys. Not at all. As your business evolves, the program still applies. Like, because this is foundational stuff for you to be able to launch anything new. Like any new service that you want to put out there, this is the framework to follow. Ashley said the key for me is the community. It helps me with accountability. Yeah. Elizabeth said, I say it's similar to an online college course. The modules are like the lectures and there are homework assignments along the way. Yep. And then kind of like our coaching calls would be like your office hours. And even inside of the Facebook group, it's like office hours. Kim said, I have an online training academy and I'm rebranding that. I've coached in the past, but not with clear direction or offer. Kim, I'd actually recommend that you check out my mini course, Sales Made Simple. And I'm going to comment it on here for you. But it really will teach, whoops, I almost went it'll teach you the beginner's guide to selling high ticket services. And I think it's important for you maybe to evaluate that as you're going through this rebrand, because the content that may be in your, I don't know, it'll just be interesting for you to kind of go through to see based off of where you're at and what season of business you're in, which business model makes the most sense for me at this season. Does it make sense for me to do coaching, consulting, or one-on-one services? Or does it make better sense for me to package my expertise into like a digital program? And I think it's in the second video of that free training. It'll walk you through that methodology so you can see what makes sense for you in this season. So I'd actually highly recommend that. It's 3 videos. It's about like 90 minutes long. There's a workbook that goes along with it. So I'd actually recommend you check out that too, to maybe help you, as you're going through the rebrand, to kind of think through everything before you devote too much time or attention on it. So yeah. So, okay, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining. As always, Hot Hustle Morning Show might be, I'm going to still try to keep it at the same time, but I'll be in Cali time. So it'll be like 6 a.m. And I don't know if I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. We'll see. I might. We'll see. But no matter what, we'll be doing lives throughout the week. And I'll keep you guys kind of, in the loop with what's going on with me as I travel this week. But if you guys, just thanks again for joining. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great, great, great rest of your day. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all.